In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to work the workbooks in Fin 3820. Here we are in topic 2, time value of money, which is the first topic where we have a workbook to do. We go down to the workbook 2.1 files folder, click it open, and we see that there are two files in there, two Excel files. One is the workbook shell, the other is the answers only. Let's open the workbook shell first. We click on that, open it up. The first thing I want to do is save it. Well, the first thing I'm going to do actually is change it to 125% so that I can see it better. And then I'm going to make sure I'm on tab 1, which is problem 1. So now I'm going to save it. This is what you're going to want to do as soon as you open it up. Save it somewhere where you can find it. I'm going to save it to my desktop, but I'm not going to save it with the same title it has. I'm going to put my name in front of it, just as the instructions asked you to do. So here's my name, David Kendall, Chapter 5 Workbook, 2.1 Workbook Shell. This says -3 on it because I've opened this before. I'm just going to get rid of the -3. I'm putting it here on the desktop. I know where it is because then after I get finished with this workbook, I'm going to be able to find it, upload it into the Moodle so it can be graded. So here we are on tab 1. Each tab has a different problem. This workbook has 10 problems in it. I'm going to show you how to work tab 1, the first problem. This says it's future value with simple interest. Now, as you've read about simple interest in the textbook, or you probably had already known about simple interest before, simple interest is calculated simply with no compounding. Each year of the term, the same amount of interest is earned each year. Well, in these workbooks, what you do is you set up the information stack and then you use the information that you put in there to calculate the question that's being asked for. Here, it's the future value. All of the yellow cells in these workbooks require the students to do a calculation. And you must do the calculation. You must do the calculation correctly. I'm as interested in how you do the calculation as you getting the right answer. Of course, you do have to get the right answer, but you also have to do it the right way. So the way to go about these problems is to set up the information stack, and you use the information there in the information stack to do the calculations required. So we need three pieces of information: the present value, the term, and the interest rate. Well, they're up here in the word problem. I'm going to put them down here. So in the present value, I'm going to say, I'm going to put an equal sign. I'm going to work in the formula bar up here where I've placed the cursor instead of directly in the cell. I like to work in the formula bar so I can see what's going on a little easier. I put equals. That's how you start an Excel entry into the cell if it's going to pick up a cell. And the present value is just the initial deposit. It's called the present value because it's the value at present. So I click the cell C3 and then I've clicked the check sign here because I'm done with that cell. And all I did was pick up that $10,000, but I didn't type the $10,000 in. I picked it up from the word problem. I pick it up from the word problem that way for a reason. I'm creating a little mini calculator here that would allow me to use this same spreadsheet to calculate a similar problem with different numbers just by changing the numbers that are backlighted in blue in this problem. That's the way you should always do it because that will help you use this spreadsheet again, like on the final exam. If you had a problem to calculate like this, save you a lot of time. Now the term is 7 years, but I'm not going to type 7 years. I'm going to put equals. I could do it right here in the cell, but again, I like to go up to the formula bar, put equals, and then pick up that 7-year term in cell E3 just by clicking on the cell. I presume you all know how to do this from having taken BUS 2110. And I get that information there now. I'm going to do the same thing for the interest rate. Here I will pick it up directly in the cell. I can type in directly in the cell if I want to. 8.5%, and click on the check sign, but it says 9%, 8.5%. Why does it say 9%? Well, that's a display issue. I need to show a decimal point in cell C7, so I right click on the cell, say format the cell, give me 1 decimal place instead of none, and there I'm seeing the same information. That information was always there, it just wasn't displaying it with 1 decimal place. Okay, now I'm ready to calculate the answer that I'm after. I know that I need a calculation here because it's a yellow backlighted cell. I'm going to right click on this cell to show that comment continuously so that I can see it while I do my work. Okay, it says, well, this is straightforward, simple interest problem. Here's how you do that. Future value is equal to the present value times the interest rate times the term plus the original present value. Well, that's easy enough. So I go up here to the formula bar. It says I need the present value, so I click on it, PV, from the information stack. Then it's times, which is asterisk in Excel. Oh, I see that I didn't get it there. Go back up here to equal. Pardon me, I'm having a little issue with Excel here. Equal, pick up the $10,000. Oh, I see what happened. I erased my present value. I have to start over. Put the present value back in there where it belongs. I just messed up in the wrong cell. Click on that cell, then click up here in the formula bar, then say equals. Now pick up the present value from the information stack times, that's asterisk, times the interest rate. Here's the interest rate. Click on that in cell C7 times the term, that's cell C6, and then finally I need to add plus the original present value, which I'm picking up from cell C5. Now I'm done. Sorry for that little mistake. That'll happen, but no problem. You can correct it easily enough. So it says that the future value is $15,950, $15,950, starting with a $10,000 deposit. But each of 7 years you earn interest of R times the present value, which we saw in the calculation. How do I know I'm correct? Can I figure that out? And the answer is yes. I can go back to the Moodle page and open up the answers only workbook. So open that, click on that, open it up. And this is going to just give me just the answers only, just the answers. And you see on the answers only workbook, get tab 1, I'm on tab 2 there. Tab 1, I've got the right answer, $15,950. And the answers only workbook, it's just the number that I've given you. Haven't shown you how to calculate it, but this will give you some confidence that you've got the answer right. That's what the answers only workbook is for, is to show you and confirm that you got the answer right. Okay, let's do this one more time. We'll work problem 2 just to reinforce how we go about this. So problem 2, tab 2 in workbook 2.1 says compound interest, interest earned on interest. Okay, so this is going to show us how compound interest works. The word problem says how much interest is earned in the 3rd year on a $4,500 deposit that earns 7.2% interest compounded annually. Okay, so now we know the drill. We put the information into the information stack. Here we have 3 cells that are going to require a calculation for us. And one of the cells has a comment on it. I'm going to go ahead and right click on that and show the comment so that I'll have it available to me when I get ready to work on that formula. But first I just put in the information. Here the present value equals 4,500. That's the initial deposit that we start out with. Put it in the bank somewhere and they're going to pay us interest. $4,500. What's the interest rate? Again, just equal sign. Here I'm working directly in the cell. I can work either there or in the formula bar. Sometimes it's convenient to work in the cell, sometimes in the formula bar. So equals interest rate, pick that up. I don't type it in, I pick it up from cell E3, just like that. Click on it. There, I've got it. That gives me the information I'm going to need to do the calculations in these other cells. Well, what's the interest going to be that's earned in the 1st year? Well, that's just like simple interest because it's just the 1st year, just 1 year. So here I'm going to work in the formula bar I'm going to say equals, and how much interest am I going to earn in the first year? Well, it's going to be the interest rate, so I pick that up, 7.2% times, so asterisk, the original present value. I click on that cell, so I'm done. That tells me in the very first year, at the end of the first year, I will have earned $324 in interest. The next yellow cell wants me to calculate the interest earned in the second year. Well, here's where the compound interest comes in. How much interest am I going to earn in the second year? Well, first of all, I'm going to earn, so I put the equal sign in because I'm creating a formula here. I'm going to earn the interest rate, 7.2%, so I pick it up there in the information stack, times the original present value. But that's not all the interest I'm going to earn in the second year, because in the second year I'm going to earn interest on the interest that I've earned already. So I add to that plus what? Well, it's going to be the interest rate again, 7.2%, so I pick it up here, cell rather, C6. But now that's going to be times what? Times the interest that I earned in the first year, which I've now already calculated in cell C7. So I pick it up at C7, boom, hit the check mark. So it's showing me that in the second year I earned $347.33, which is equal to the interest on the original present value plus the interest on the interest I earned in the first year. That demonstrates very nicely how compound interest works. So finally we get to the last piece, which was the original question, how much will be earned in the third year? Well, in the third year, we're going to earn, so I put my equal sign to start the formula, the interest rate, 7.2% from the information stack, times the original present value. That's just the interest earned on the original present value, but we're going to earn more. What? Plus the interest rate, 7.2% again, times what? Well, the interest that we earned in the second year now, okay, 347. That's the total interest that we've earned now in the second year, plus, and finally, we've got the interest rate, 7.2%, times the interest that we earned in the first year. So you can see here in the formula bar, C6 times C5, that's the interest rate times the original present value. Then I did it in reverse order. C6, which is the interest rate times the interest earned in the second year, plus the interest rate times the interest earned in the first year. I could have reversed those if I wanted to. Probably would have made more sense to do that, but it doesn't really matter since addition is, do it in any order you want to. And I'm seeing that in the third year, I finally get the answer I was after all along, that in the third year I will earn interest of $372.34. So this shows you the idea of compound interest, which is earning interest not only on the original present value of the original deposit, but on the interest earned year by year. Compound interest is all about earning interest on interest, and this problem shows you how to do that, and now I've showed you how to work with the workbooks.